Hello, it's Aimee here, and in this video I will be showing you my weekly spreads for this month. So far, I've been keeping my weekly layouts pretty simple. In the past, I've always made a new spread for each week, but got a little bit burnt out by the end of it. I thought that maybe this month I could bring it back and show you all some different layouts that you can draw some inspiration from. Starting off with the first weekly layout, I begin lining my doodle in the corner. If I'm being honest, I don't know how I feel about this doodle. I think the layout itself is good, but I had a hard time thinking of a doodle to cover that area. Depending on your theme, you can fit a drawing or design that better fits. Maybe the best kind of drawing for that section would be a little something bigger compared to the little doodles that I drew, but it's all up to your preferences. After finishing the outline of the doodle, I put a thin border around it and continue lining the rest of the layout itself. The top right corner will have a mini calendar letting me know which week of the month it is and a menu, but instead of a menu you can use it for tracking other tasks as well. I have learned that I don't really use much space to plan my tasks out for the day. If I were to plan out each hour, then this would be perfect, but those never really worked for me. Instead, I will be using the top part as my tasks for the day, and the bottom part will be used for my one line a day spread. I wanted more space to journal my thoughts out for the day, so this is what I came up with. Coloring in the doodle made me like the spread a little more. I do not plan on using colored pencils for most of the spreads because it took so much time, but you can still see that it works out. I finish off this spread with writing in the headers for each day of the week, using faux calligraphy, and adding highlights to the doodles to make everything pop more. With the first weekly down, we will move on to the next layout. This one will not have any doodles on it. I wanted to make sure to add something on the simpler side, mainly to save some time and to not completely burn myself out. But I felt like having little sticky notes and a pinboard look to the spread would somewhat fit the theme, I hope. Maybe not, but I mean, it still looks good. Keeping some consistencies with the other spreads, I used my fine liner to outline the layout first. I really wanted to capture the sticky note look, so I used muted colors to fill in each day. Then I added in some more saturated colors on the edges so that they weren't too bland. After filling in all of the headers, I color in the small details of the pins and tape. I didn't really like how bland the spread was looking, so I added a little background for the spread using a gray marker to make a grid. I then wrote in the headers for each day of the week to finish it off. For the next layout, I will be doodling a little more for it. To make sure that my doodles don't overlap the boxes for my tasks, I start outlining those first. I wanted to add more designs to the borders of the task boxes, so I drew jagged lines for some of them to make it seem like a patch of fabric. Within the boxes, I split it to create one side for the tasks itself and the other side for my memory/journaling side. After that, I outline all of the doodles in the background, making sure to follow my sketches. I had to look up more inspiration for the doodles because while some of them were repeats from the other spreads, I wanted to add in some that I didn't doodle yet. Then, I start to color in the doodles after lining them all out. To save some time, I will only be showing some of them colored. When it came to coloring in the fabric task boxes, I didn't know how to go about filling it in. I knew the pattern I wanted to use, but with the colors, I was a bit lost. Feel free to use a different pattern for them. Maybe one that actually looks like a plaid pattern, not my janky one. Completing this spread with writing in the days of the week and adding some highlights onto the doodles, we move on to the next and final spread. This spread is by far my favorite. I did a weekly layout similar to last year's, with the doodle in the middle of the spread and then the tasks on each side of it. I wanted to reattempt that with this theme, and the first thing that popped up in my head was embroidery on jean pockets. If I ever were to try embroidery, I would use it to embellish my jeans that way. The designs are always so cute, especially when they are florals. So, I tried to replicate it with the doodles. I also wanted to try another realistic drawing of embroidery as well. However, I still had no confidence with just jumping into coloring, so I started off with the usual outlining of my doodles. I used a lot of photo references to really capture the look of jeans and embroidery designs. Everything didn't really come together until I used the color pencils to add that thread-like texture to the drawings and then the highlights on top of it. As usual, I didn't really know how I felt about how my drawing was looking, but as I kept going and just kept coloring in the doodle, I felt more and more happy with the result. After I finished the drawing, I did some lettering for the days of the week and colored in some of the task areas. And there it is, 4 different weekly layouts for you all to draw inspiration from. If you liked them and wanted to try them for yourself, please tag me on Instagram. I really enjoy seeing other people's creations. I will probably be going back to a more chill layout next month, but if you'd like to see more videos like this, please let me know. I always appreciate your support, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.